lovely human beings. This is something I've wanted to do for quite a while now, so a few days ago I just decided I'd give this a try and see if it's something I'd like to do in the future. This probably won't be very exciting or eventful, but that's kind of what these kinds of videos are for. You can just chill out to the sound of my awkward fumbling with words, or watch my traditional art progress. I will say that this isn't very traditional for me, since I literally had to balance my phone on a pile of books, since I don't have anything else to really stabilize the camera. I know, I'm very professional. Speaking of professional though, I also entirely made this artwork up on the fly, and didn't even bother to erase out the rough sketch. So this was only and purely me just messing around until I made something semi-decent to even look at. I've been binging these incredible and entertaining art channels like Emily Artful or Drawfee or ABD Illustrates for so long now, and I always kind of just wish I could do something similar to their work or content. And then one day, I got struck with inspiration. And I just got to work. I started making this video. If this makes you feel calm or something, if this is helpful in some way, that would make me happy, but honestly, I'm just doing this to try out if I would like doing something like this. In the artwork itself, I just decided to go with something with fruits because that's vague enough to be like easy to do, but then it's interesting enough that it won't be an entirely dull painting. If you're interested in what art supplies I'm using, at the very least, I'm using White Knight's watercolor palette that I mainly picked out myself, but based on, basic primary colors, etc., cold and warm tones, stuff like that. But overall, that cost me maybe like €50, I don't even remember, but they're a very expensive but 100% worth it brand. Then I'm also using an Authentic Pad watercolor pad for the paper, and I don't know if I would recommend it. I mean, it's good quality paper, but I don't know if it's worth the money. It doesn't seem like it really cooperates with the water that you put on it. It feels a little bit flaky even when you only do like 2 layers. Then another thing I always take with me and always use is a 9-sized paintbrush for watercolors, specifically for watercolors because it won't hold enough water if you do like a mixed media one. Usually those aren't the best for if you're specifically using watercolors. If you're doing a gouache painting though, mixed media brushes can actually be a lot better. I'll also say that I'm currently under a blanket to kind of cover the noise I make, because my mom can hear me from the other room incredibly easily, and it's kind of uncomfortable. If you live in Finland though, I will say that the store I got all of my, or at least most of my art supplies from is a store where my friend Chris would work at like maybe a few years ago or a year ago, something like that. And it's called, I think, like the Snow White art store or something like that. It's in Hakaniemi if you live in Finland. It has a lot of really like good art supplies for a lot cheaper than something like Suomalainen kirjakauppa. I would have tried to get into that job or something, into that store, but Chris at least said that it would be really difficult, but maybe the owners of the shop will see this video and then they'll hire me. I don't know. I also find it really interesting that my watercolor or traditional art process is so different to watch, at least like sped up, than it is when I do digital artworks. I'm probably actually going to post some digital artworks because I have Procreate, which creates automatic speed paints if you want them to. I only realized a lot later, like after I was done making this artwork, that the character, for a while before I added the blue and the red tones in the hair, reminded me so much of like Cornelia from Witch or something, which I have been also binging lately, mainly because of nostalgia. The animation in Witch actually surprisingly holds up to this day. Like, it's really not that bad. At this point, the artwork is nearly finished. I was only adding the little white details, kind of, because I can find that dry brushing white details onto the background can actually make it look very interesting and add a lot of texture. I hope you've enjoyed so far this chill out session of me kind of talking about fucking nothing. And at this point, it's one of my favorite parts of any artwork that's traditional, which is peel porn. Hell yeah, look at that good shit. At this point, I pretty much declare the painting finished and start to just sign it, do all the basic stuff. Then after this, I go on to add little black details because that can really give a kind of abstractness to the watercolor I do. I don't know why I really do it, I just kind of like the way it looks. I still tried to make the artwork as vibrant as possible. It's quite hard to come up with lighting and a good concept on the fly, really just off the top of your head like this, so if it looks worse than my usual work, I wouldn't be surprised, but this is what you get for now. I also just decided to write fruit tree on her cheek to kind of give it some kind of cheesy meaning or something. It doesn't, but at least it's cute. And at that point, it is finished. If you've watched all the way here, hello. My Instagram is alexblomisby, and have a nice day.